Welcome to the DIY Podcast, part of the DIY Podcast Network. You're in the ring with DIY. Ladies and gentlemen, it happened. Rod gets his Seth Rollins, he gets his Gable, Chris gets his McIntyre. I got the DIY. I'm so excited. Oh my goodness, it happened. We finally found Johnny Gargano. Oh, Ciampa was getting hurt. The music hit. He came out. Oh, they're going to do it. They're going to do their finishing move. And they cut to the next show, the Chucky show. But otherwise, I'm still happy. DIY is back. I love it, Rod.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was actually, Jimmy, going to help you bring in DIY to lead this podcast, where I was going to say literally that I was hot at Chucky for thinking that he was more important than the finishing move of the tag team that this wrestling podcast has been trying to bring back for a long time. Jimmy's been on these airwaves for a while telling you guys about Johnny Gargano. He has now recently been also singing the praises of a Tommaso Ciampa, and now they are together. Ciampa, as I called him once upon a time, put on a banger on Monday Night Raw. I was happy to see it. Happy for you, Jimmy. I want good things for my guy.
Chris, come on. You loved it. Come on. You give me an old man take here. I'm swear to God.
Listen, first of all, that was a great match between Ciampa and Gunther. I loved every second of it. There were times I believed that they were actually going to maybe give Ciampa the belt. So that was fantastic, I thought. I am so happy for you, Jimmy. However, I don't know really anything about these guys other than what I've seen Ciampa and a little bit of what Gargano has done in the WWE brands. So you're going to have to fill me in a little bit about what is DIY.
DIY is two of the best indie wrestlers of all time coming together years and years ago and just running roughshod. They will have amazing matches, but then DIY also, there's some history there, Chris. They've had some battles with each other, and that is also something to look forward to down the line. And one day, a WrestleMania one-on-one match between Gargano and Ciampa. I can dream. Let's go. It's going to be fantastic. They're going to have some terrific matches going forward with Imperium. Are you kidding me? That's going to be great, guys.
You know who else they're going to have a great match with, Jimmy? Pretty Deadly. Because my guys on the mend, on the way back. Let's go. Yes, boy. Come on. DIY versus Pretty Deadly. This podcast will go crazy. And Chris, I don't care how much you scoff. When DIY and Pretty Deadly go one-on-one for the tag team championship belts. I don't know which one of them will have the belts at that time, but it will happen. We may have to do this podcast live on location for an event such as that.
It would be great.
I can't get behind Yes Boy. That's what it boils down to. I can't get behind this Pretty Deadly. I will say this, though. The vignettes are pretty funny. Like, I do enjoy them. So, hey, good entertainment, good TV, right?
Very good TV. Speaking of TV, we had Monday Night Raw, and it was Monday Night Talking segments a lot of the time, but we also had that amazing main event between Gunther and Ciampa, if you will. I thought they did a great job. I love the fact that they got it on this show, because they would have gotten 8 minutes on the pay-per-view, and it would have been a solid 8 minutes, but you can see what two people can do with time. Gunther had to win that. Interesting that they did use the sleeper finish for that instead of I thought the double power bomb was it, but I did like how that all ended up, Rod.
Yeah, it's definitely the kind of thing where we've talked on this podcast recently about we got to get Gunther up. But you know what Gunther can do if we don't move him up is any single person we decide to put him in a banger with can get elevated a little bit, right? We saw our guy Chad Gable get risen up from the ranks of the mid-carders and have a bit of a run, right? People are chanting shoosh. We got signs in the crowd, right? He's got his kid at ringside. That makes for a great moment. And now we see Ciampa coming out, cutting a promo during a stupid contract signing segment, right? He starts the promo out. The crowd is absolutely not buying him. And by the end of it, the crowd was in the palm of his hands. He got that chance to work and get over. And I'm not sure he gets that chance if not for Gunther elevating the Intercontinental Championship to where it is and continuing to have that streak. Now, we all know, Jimmy, like you talk about so often, Nobody's going to beat Roman Reigns. But what we don't talk about often enough is how guys get shine coming off of that. And I think Gunther does it on a smaller mid-card level.
Yeah, he does definitely, and we will see the rise of DIY moving forward. One thing we do need to hit on is Mommy's back, and she's a little ill-tempered. Rhea Ripley's the star. She is a star. And if you didn't know if she was the leader of Judgment Day, you kind of know now because she ran down everybody. And Chris, we're recording this on Tuesday, and the Dominic match has not happened yet. He better bring that belt home, which I think he's going to. But if not, don't come home. I loved it.
I mean, she is so over that she is getting raucous chants of mommy when she's out there. As soon as she brings out Dom and Damien, the crowd is not behind them at all. It is crazy how this has happened where people are not fans of Judgment Day but love mommy.
Now, wait a minute. Can I jump in here real quick? Chris is going to say
Sure.
that he doesn't like Yes Boy, but he's going to come on this podcast and call her mommy like that? Come on. Wait a minute now.
I'll call her whatever she wants me to because I'm scared to death. So I thought that was pretty good. A lot of other talking segments. One segment that was it was the timing was good. I just don't know if you can really believe it where Shinsuke Nakamura counted out loud on a pre-tape, and we know it was pre-taped because he was in the ring with Seth Rollins. That was kind of hokey, but I think the match is going to be pretty good at Fastlane.
I'm worried. I'm really worried. I mean, I'd imagine Seth Rollins wins this match, right? And this is just we got Shinsuke some shine. We had some good entertainment for a couple of months, but I mean, I'm worried in this last man standing match, right? If we see a series of moves similar to what we saw there, which probably means we won't see it in the match and Rollins will come out on top. But I'm a little worried for my guy right now, Jim. I do not want to be seeing a 30-minute last minute standing match. I'm going to be on the edge of my seat up and down so many times this Saturday in Indianapolis, and then my guy loses. I don't know, Jimmy. You're going to have to drag me out of that arena if that happens.
The emotions that are going to happen on Saturday, especially if we get a DIY Imperium match, which we could. I love it. I can't wait. Oh yeah, by the way, we did forget one little thing. AJ Styles is not going to be John Cena's partner for sure. Chris, how you feel about LA Knight taking John Cena under his wing? Thank you very much.
Exactly. I mean, dude did not ask John Cena if he could be his partner. He took that contract out of his hands and signed it and gave it back to him. He didn't ask permission. He just took it. What could be bigger for our boy than getting in a tag team match against the Bloodline with John Cena in his corner? You want to talk about getting pops? That is going to get a whole hell of a lot of pops.
Who comes out first, Rod?
LA Knight's got to be last in that match. I mean, he's got to be last in that match, but he won't be. John Cena will be last, right? Bloodline will come out first, right? Jimmy and Solo will come out to like a group kind of music. They'll come out first, and then LA Knight will come out, and then the GOAT still gets to go last. But what I noticed about that segment, Jimmy, was we talk so often about how our guy's charismatic, and he's probably over an awful lot due to his mic skills. Didn't say a word on that SmackDown. Not a word. Just came out, beat people down, grabbed the contract, signed it, did a couple of points. Everybody knew what he meant, and he got out of the ring. It was beautiful.
I loved it. And crazy. Before we get to our Fastlane predictions, and now I see clearly Adam Copeland is an AEW. It is WWE adjacent, so we can talk about this. But yes, Edge debuted at AEW's pay-per-view in a pretty cool way. Obviously, Christian was in the main event against Darby Allin, and Edge came out and kind of just blew the house up. He is going to be a full-time performer for AEW, Chris King. Are you excited for Adam Copeland? The rated R superstar still, by the way, because things lapse and things get picked up by other companies.
I mean, I guess I'm happy for him. I have heard through you guys that he wanted to be able to wrestle with Christian again, and that wasn't going to happen in the WWE. So for him as a person, I'm happy for him. But that's not going to make me start watching AEW, unfortunately.
Well, we only have there's so many hours in the day for anything in life, and I'll definitely keep up on it. I'm not going to be watching every Wednesday. I keep up on it, but it was a great moment, a great Twitter moment there, Rod.
Yeah, I certainly, I completely agree with what you said there, Jimmy. I take some shots at you on this podcast, but that's just because to keep up a gimmick. But ultimately, it's just I don't have enough hours in the week. If I'm going to follow the NBA as closely as I am and try to keep up on enough pop culture stuff as I do, it's got to be out the window. I watch 5 hours of wrestling as it is, and then if there's a premium live event, 8. You know, what I mean, the wife goes crazy every once in a while. God bless Mrs. Morgan. You know, she allows it, but there's only so much I can force upon her. So no, I don't watch AEW. But I saw the moment on Twitter. I love a pop as much as anybody else. I love entrance music as much as anybody else. I love that song. I love Edge, but I hit the wrestling group thread with "Say It Ain't So Edge" because I, like Chris, will not be all of a sudden tuning in on AEW to watch Edge fight. And I just got mad at Vince. I just got mad at Vince here. All right. If Edge still wants to go, let the guy go. All right. You spent all these years making him a character. He still got over pretty well his last couple of appearances in the WWE, still wrestled a couple of good matches. Like, just get over yourself, Vince. And if you wanted to wrestle more, let him wrestle in the WWE. So I'm ultimately disappointed, but I echo Chris's sentiments. Good for Adam.
And he didn't get that championship back, which sucks. It really does. He had to give it up in the middle of the ring at WrestleMania. They had a perfect opportunity to give it to him again at WrestleMania, chose not to. In hindsight, probably a good idea with this Roman Reigns, 3-year long storyline. But it is sad that he didn't get that championship back. But I digress. Now we're going to go to Fastlane. We are going live, Rod and I, to Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm so excited for this. My kids are pumped. My sister is pumped. She and Izzy have shirts that says "Girls Who Love Wrestling." I mean, it's just it's going to be a really good time. Rod, you and we may be sitting more just because our hearts can't take it. Especially this match. Let's get right into it. John Cena and LA Knight versus Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso of the Bloodline. This I don't think is going to go on last, or is this going to go on last? Ooh,
No, I think the last man standing match is going to be last.
I would think. But who you got here?
Well, I mean, John Cena's got to get a win, right? I mean, like we've seen
Yeah.
some threads develop on Twitter that like it's been a long time since the guy's won a match. I guess he did win the match, the SmackDown, the final SmackDown of the year. I guess technically he did win that match as a tag team partner. And we know Cena's got to work in tag teams because frankly, just the timing isn't what it used to be. And John's just a little older than he used to be. But we're gonna see some five knuckle shuffles, right? We're gonna see some you can't see me's, We're going to see a huge reaction when Cena hits the ring. He's going to drop down the towel. I'm going to be there live in person, and I'm ready for it. Are we going to see a 5-star match to quote Mr. Meltzer? I highly doubt it, but it should be entertaining.
Chris King, who you got?
I think it's going to be Cena and LA Knight. I will go on a limb here and say it's going to be LA Knight pinning Solo to win this match. Um, I I know that's a long shot, Solo getting pinned, but I do see that's how I want to see it end. I do think there's no question that Cena and LA Knight win this match. There's nothing on the line at all except for ego, apparently. So there's no reason not to have Cena win.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I think LA Knight and Cena are going to get the win, and people are going to be just so pumped for that. And it's really going to just get the crowd just going. This could be the first match. I think
Well, I
it
think
might
it's
be a little
definitely the
too
first
big,
match.
but it could be. It could be the first match.
It'd be a great way to start.
The LWO, Mysterio, Escobar, Joaquin Wild, and or Cruz del Toro versus Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. Is this where Santos Escobar turns on Rey Mysterio? I say yes, and I say Bobby and the Street Profits get the win. Chris King.
I'm going Street Profits here. I don't care about what happens between Rey Mysterio and Escobar right now. It's getting ridiculous. It will be more interesting if he does turn on Rey Mysterio, but I still haven't really decided what I think about Mysterio getting the U.S. title the way he did, or still having it for that matter.
Rod, who you got?
I can't pick the Street Profits here because they're going into this match with a manager as their third tag team partner. So I think that that's going to put them at a disadvantage there. We have a guy who just comes down to the ring in suits and talks into a microphone, even though he's not incredibly great at talking into a microphone. No, come on. I'm sorry. I can't disrespect my guy, Bob Lashley. As much as I love a good bit, I can't disrespect my guy, Bob Lashley, that much. He's a heck of a wrestler. He's a mountain of a man. He's certainly not just a manager. I think we're definitely going to see the Escobar turn here. I think Vince, as Jimmy has talked about, is desperate for them to have a Latin superstar, and Rey is getting up there in the years. And I think they see to themselves that they've gotten some heat out of Dominic Mysterio for a turn against Rey. So one good turn deserves another. Why not see if we can get a little bit of heat on Santos for having him turn against Rey? So I think we're going to see that.
Let's go. In a match that I was really hoping we get McIntyre and Cody on this one, but that would just be another really big match on this card, so I can see why they may wait on that one. But Judgment Day, Damian Priest and Finn Balor versus Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. I'm excited to see Cody Rhodes. Haven't seen him live in a very, very long time. I can't even remember the last time I saw him live, and obviously with his new gimmick, I haven't. I think that Damian Priest and Finn Balor will get the win here because mommy's back and mommy's pissed. I think that's going to happen. Chris King.
Yeah, no, I think they retain the belts here. I think Jay and Cody losing adds more to that storyline on Raw that we've been seeing lately. So I don't see them taking these belts. I don't think anybody's ready to see Jay with the tag team belts again. I mean, it's main event Jay Uso, not the Usos tag team. So I see Judgment Day keeping those belts.
Rod, very interesting. Jey Uso wins this. He's one up on his brother. I don't know if I like that.
Well, I was sitting here thinking that we're going to see a world where we gave Jey Uso the name main event Jey Uso, right? He's running around being part of the main event stuff at Raw. And Jimmy is running around, yes, being part of the main event stuff on SmackDown, but I think we're going to live in a world where Jimmy's going to be a bit more mid-cardish. He's going to be, we already talked about him being a guy who's going to take a pin in a match on this very podcast. So I think Jimmy's going to be a guy who's going to be on his back a lot more often than Jey Uso. So then I say to myself, can we get good Jey Uso storylines out of Cody and him being tag team champions? And ultimately, I'm going to say yes. I'm a little flimsy on this limb, but I'm going to go out on the limb anyway. I think we're going to see Jay and Cody win here because I don't think they want Finn and Damian to have the belts very long. I think they want to tell other stories with those guys. They just made the most sense to get the belts off of KO and Sammy at the time. And so then I think we're going to see Cody and Jay versus the world a little bit on Monday Night Raw. And then we're going to see those two guys maybe turn against each other. And it's going to start leading us down the road of Cody then making his way back towards Roman. So I say these guys are going to be tag champions and it's going to start a story.
Okay, I can see that happening for sure. And I want a belt change. I really want a belt change at this. There's so much on the line, including the next matchup, Io Sky versus Asuka versus Charlotte Flair. Io Sky's reign has been so far. Let's give her a win here. I think Io Sky is going to retain, Rod.
You're being generous by saying that Io Sky's reign has been all right.
I'm an unbiased journalist. Thank you.
She's had like a banger on SmackDown, maybe.
Banger.
The Queen, right, is back. I'm going to be excited to see the Queen come out to the ring. I'm going to be one of the people standing up and cheering for Charlotte because I know it's a bit of a mixed bag for her at times. People still have a little bit of trouble cheering for the Queen, even though she is clearly the greatest female wrestler of all time. But I'm not going to pick my girl here. I am going to stick with Io Sky as well.
Chris King, you going to be out on a limb on anything, or are you going to go with Io Sky?
No, I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm kind of doing this to be nice to Rod because I think he's going to be mad at me a little bit later. But I think the Queen wins this match. She's becoming a little bit more regular. I don't know. I don't think she has a break coming up necessarily. This would be a good chance to get her a belt and give her a little bit of a run. It would tie her. This would be her 15th or her 16th.
Wait a minute. What am I supposed to like about you calling the Queen regular? What exactly about that was I supposed to like?
A regular, like she's on the shows regularly on the weekly shows.
Oh, instead of usually when she just leaves for 3 months and then comes back. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Just shots by both of you at the Queen. I don't appreciate this.
I'm giving her the belt. How is that a shot?
Oh, that's so funny. And then we have our main event, Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura in a last man standing match for the World Heavyweight Championship. I will go first. My heart of hearts, I want Nakamura to win. I think it'd be really cool for him to finally get a belt, but Seth Rollins is going to win. I think that he's just going to overcome Nakamura once again, move on to the next challenger. Or does Seth Rollins? Oh, do Priest and Balor
Okay,
lose?
so I'm going to stop you right
Okay,
now.
go ahead, Chris.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, because this is how I see this happening. Because Rod talked earlier about Finn Balor and Damian Priest losing those belts to start a little storyline between them. But I see it going a different way to add a little bit of more angst between them and the Judgment Day. All right, so I see Rollins getting over on Nakamura, retaining the belt, but injured so much because it's a last man standing match. They're both down till the count of 9. Rollins gets up, wins it. Priest comes out with his money in the bank, takes the belt from Rollins because he can't defend himself anymore. That makes Rod the most unhappy in this premium live event, Fastlane.
It will take us an hour and a half to get out of there if that happens at the end. Rod will just be sitting staring. Hey, you know how Justin Fields was in his Bears uniform for like an hour after the game, just like, what the hell happened? That's going to be Rod in his WWE attire, just sitting there saying, "But why?" Rod, come on, buddy. You know your boy's going to win, right?
But see, I'd forgotten about, even though Priest was wielding around the stupid senior Money in the Bank case the other night, I'd sort of forgotten about the fact that he has the ability to cash in at any time. And I was talking about how Seth's going to get beat by Shinsuke. I didn't even entertain the possibility of the Archer of Infamy showing up and winning the belt, and that being the angst that ultimately blows up the Judgment Day. Chris, I'm mad at you for so many reasons right now. One, because I am a podcaster at my heart of hearts. I am mad that you had this great take and I did not. And two, I am mad that you are predicting doom for my guy. Jimmy, also, don't think that I didn't hear you say a second ago in your heart of hearts you want Shinsuke to win. So what I'm wondering is, are shanks allowable in WWE Arena so that I might be able to just stab you in your heart when you're not expecting it during the show?
It is downtown Indy. I'm very happy with Chris for stopping me going where he was going to go. Says, no, Jim, I already had this idea. You need to stop. So what's going to happen, Rod? Come on. What's going to happen?
I'm ultimately Seth wins and Damian does not cash in. That's the prediction I'm going to make, because I'll be sick to my stomach for days if I predict anything different than that, because that's ultimately what I want to see. But man, if Damian Priest Judgment Day music hits near the end of that pay-per-view, Jimmy, everybody around me look out.
And with that, you've been listening to the Yeah We Know podcast, part of the More You Knows podcast network. You're in the ring with Jimmy, Rod, and Chris.
Goodbye, net. Yeah.